to Daily Insight. Now, for today's topic, we'll be discussing the productivity formula for employees and entrepreneurs. So, a very important topic for all of our viewers. So, today we have a special guest. He is a registered financial planner. Let us all please welcome David Angway. Hello, David.
Hi,
good morning.
Good morning. Good
Welcome
morning
back.
to everyone. Yeah, thank you for inviting me here.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we wanted to know, first off, what is it that you'll be discussing today?
Well, we're going to be talking about productivity, and when it comes to productivity, we're talking about results.
Yes.
It's not just about business, we're talking about results, execution.
So why is this topic very important for our viewers?
Well, many people believe that they're really busy and they're making some progress, but to be honest, they're not doing anything really good. So
Yes.
what we're trying to do right now is to dissect how they can give something or make some progress for about, let's say, for example, 20-30% compared to the usual thing that they've been doing right now.
Yes, yes. For like a lot of people who work in the office,
Yes.
the usual thing is I clock in for 8 hours. You know, I get a project. Maybe I'm already done with my work, but I still want to put in the full 8 hours just to get my salary.
But sometimes you felt it's so overwhelming, right?
Yes, and it's not really very encouraging.
That's
Yeah.
correct. That's correct. So what I'd like to emphasize on this one is like simplification.
Okay.
You know what? In project management, if you got 20 goals in the next 3 months, let's say for example that's 20 goals. That's really too much, right?
Yes, yes.
So what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna settle for less, more on mediocrity. So I highly recommend to simplify those 20 goals. Write it down in a piece of paper, and then put all those, and then target only 3. Because there's a study in the US that says that the more goals that you have, the lesser chance that you're gonna hit everything.
Okay.
So you're gonna end up, let's say for example, you got 11 to 20 goals, you get none. You never accomplish anything. But if you
Yes.
got 3 goals only, max, you'll be able to at least hit at least 2 or 3 as much as possible.
But what if, let's say, I'm an employee and my boss is really telling me, this is the 20 things I want you to do in 3 months. How can I still meet all of those goals, but simplify it so that it doesn't seem so overwhelming for me?
Okay. That's a really good question. First of all, you need to understand your energy.
Okay.
When's your energy level at very high? At the very peak?
Personally,
Yeah.
I am a night owl.
Yeah, okay.
So I work best at night. I'm more productive. I feel like my brain is really churning things out at night.
So I think that it would be the best time for you to at least focus more. And at the end of the day, when you focus, when you put so much energy into that, you'll accomplish more.
Okay.
Because many people believe that they're gonna be like not really a night owl like you, but they kept on spending so much energy at night just to finish a project.
Yes, trying to meet those deadlines,
But
right?
they ended up losing more time, productivity, energy, and it will backfire tomorrow or probably the next day.
Yes.
So it would be better for you. The number one lesson here is this: to make it to simplify everything. You just need to hit at least 3 goals.
Okay.
All right, and then understand your energy level, and then after you understand the energy level, then you execute it.
Okay.
All right, and then not only that, you need to at least look for the lag measure. The lag measure is like this: in order for you to hit this goal, what are you gonna do to simply? What are you gonna do to hit the goal? Give me a sec. Well, you got this big goal, and then you need to understand these 2 things for you to get the leverage.
Yes.
So if you hit this 2, you'll be able to hit the goal itself. So it's like hitting 2 birds in 1 stone.
Yes.
So it will definitely drive your energy, and at the same time, the productivity level. It will be easier for you. So it's not just about business.
Okay, so today's topic, we're also gearing towards entrepreneurs.
Yes, that's
now,
right.
for a lot of entrepreneurs who are just starting out, they for sure have a lot of goals, you know?
That's
you want to
correct.
be successful, you want to make money. So where should they start? How do they simplify these broad goals that they have?
Okay, I highly recommend for them to stick with the plan. Right now, if they're currently an employee and they would
Yes.
like to jump into an entrepreneurship, I highly suggest that they simply plan for it for about 1 year. Depends
Okay.
upon what kind of business is this.
Yes.
But if they would like to start from the very scratch, I highly recommend to simply put so much focus, at least 2 to 3 hours a day, to cut the long story short, or to simply eat the elephant.
Yes.
Because it's too big. You
Okay.
cannot really do these things for about 24 hours. So I highly recommend to dissect it. And if you are an entrepreneur, a startup entrepreneur, I highly suggest as well to simply build your community or get along with fellow entrepreneurs as well.
So during that 1 year of planning,
Yep.
how far along should they be thinking? How far should they be planning? Should they already plan the entire future of their business, or just a few years?
Actually, I highly suggest that they need to think for about long term, five
Okay.
years already, because 95% of the startup business are not really moving.
Oh.
That means they're within the 5 year period plan. Most of them will die at least 1 to 2 years, or
Yes.
even after they launch.
Yes, that is the sad reality of a lot of startups.
Yes, that's
so to
correct.
prevent that, all the more we encourage the planning.
Yes, the planning.
Especially if it's not so urgent for them to start
That's
start
correct.
right away. So use that 1 year if you have time. If you're still working another a job in an office, to maintain that job.
And at the same time, let me go ahead and add it up. Look for an advisory board. When you
okay.
say advisory board, you look for 5 people who's very good, who's smarter than you.
Yes.
In terms of finance, management, probably other things such as, let's say, for example, leadership. Because you don't have all those things.
Yes.
You're just starting.
So that's like looking for a mentor. Maybe.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
So, fellow advisory board will help you to simply prevent you from going into the dip, especially if you're going to be launching a business. like
Okay,
that.
so for today's first tip is to simplify your goals to be productive either as an employee or as an entrepreneur. So stay tuned for the next part as we discuss other tips. So before we go to our next subtopic, let's say hi to our viewers.
All right.
Those watching, Cora Sagun Talentino, happy Monday morning, careful financial planning. Hello, happy viewing, Cora. Imelda Fan, good morning. Christina Asuncion, watching from Toronto. Hello, Canada.
Hello.
Mary de Guzman, watching from Noveleta, Philippines. And Od Sanico, good morning po. So for all of our viewers who are watching today, make sure you leave your comments. If you have any questions, we can read them here and then answer them live. So going back now to our topic, we were just discussing about productivity.
That's
We
right.
just finished the last part about simplification. Now what is this the next tip that we're going to discuss?
So we're going to be talking about managing your priorities. So
Yes.
you've already list down all the goals that you have.
Okay.
Right? If you're an employer and an entrepreneur, so it's too overwhelming because you got 100 to-do lists, right?
Yes,
So
yeah, it never gets shorter.
yes, exactly. So if you're going to be doing that for the longest time, you're going to be felt overwhelmed and your energy level is going to drop.
Yes.
Now, the best way for you to do these things is to simply understand, hey, if you do this, let's say, for example, if you do the A, how can I reach the B ASAP? So let's say, for example, if I would like to be a senior vice president of my own company, or our company, let's say, for example, I am an employee,
Yes.
and then I'd like to reach these things for about a year. And I'm currently an operations manager, right? Operations manager to SVP, definitely there's a timeline for that one.
Yes.
But I need to hit the goal for about a year, because I need to be efficient. Now, what's going to happen is I'd like to simply do the A. Let's say, for example, I need to handle 2 to 3 teams.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if I handle 3 teams, under me there will be at least 70 people. If I manage all their stats, definitely I'll be an SVP ASAP. Now, the best way how you can do that is to understand exactly, hey, what do I need to do? Handle 3 teams first, or should I go ahead and simply handle the operations?
Okay.
So it's gonna be a balancing effect.
Yeah,
Now-
you want to be efficient with your time because you
Yes.
know we only have 24 hours a day.
That's correct.
So how can you tackle the ones that need to be done?
Now, I highly recommend, if you're an employee, at least put at least 2 to 3 hours of your excess time or your extra time after the 8 hours to simply accomplish the other things, so you can go directly to the SVP.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
even after you've already finished your 8-hour workday?
Yes, that's correct.
To get ahead with the work that
Yes,
needs to be
that's
done.
correct. Because if you're gonna
okay.
stick only with an 8-hour job, definitely it's gonna be hard time for you to reach the SVP level.
Especially if you have goals of upward mobility.
That's
Diba?
correct.
If
That's
you're
correct.
looking to be a senior vice president, you
That's
gotta
right.
work harder than the next guy.
That's correct. Same thing goes with entrepreneurship. If I'd like to earn at least 100,000 right now, and currently our revenue is like, let's say for example, I'm only earning 20,000 a month. Now, how can I reach that 100,000? Well, the number one thing that I'd like to understand is how can I go ahead and get a sale, or should I go ahead and focus on marketing?
Okay, so how do you know which one is the best one?
Now, if I'm really good at marketing and I'm poor at sales, I would highly capitalize with my strengths.
Okay.
Rather than go directly with my with selling, right?
Okay.
And then I will outsource the selling
ayan pala.
portion. So I'll use the leverage of other people's skills.
Yes.
So I'll be able to get into the goal ASAP.
Okay, so maximize on the current skills that you do have.
Yes, that's right.
And then outsource on the areas that maybe need some improvement.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So that's how you manage your priorities. Hey, if I cannot do this, now who's the person who can make these things happen?
Yes.
So that's the only question. Who's the person who can make these things happen? And can he accomplish these things in the timeline that I desire?
Yes. Now, how do you determine how long a good timeline is for you to meet your goals?
Well, the standard MBA approach for this, it depends.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Safe answer.
So for this particular case, it really depends upon your goal. Hey, I felt really stuck in this particular company if I'll stay for about a year.
Okay.
Now I need to at least have an upward mobility, or probably a lateral mobility.
Yes.
Within the next 6 months. So
Okay.
it really depends, right?
Well, what's important is that you're already looking ahead.
Yes,
diba?
that's correct.
You're not content with just your current position, especially if you want to be successful in the business that you're in,
Yes.
or in the business that you want to start as an entrepreneur.
Yes, that's right. The number one reason why many employees leave their place is because the lack of challenge already. So they need to challenge themselves, and when they already hit the portion wherein they're already at the peak of their career,
Yes.
they felt sometimes that okay, there's no more challenge in this one. Probably I need to get out.
Okay.
So it's not really the problem with the employer, but it's your problem. It's a challenge we're in. Hey, can I still go ahead and make it to the top?
Yes.
All right. Can I still challenge the existing status quo that I have right now?
Yes. Okay. So what we've learned from this portion, especially as an employee, to remain productive, if you have goals of maybe moving up in your company, you have to put in the extra work.
Yes,
Don't be
that's
content
correct.
with just the 8 hours that you have, especially if you have extra projects that you want to do well in.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And then as an entrepreneur, you want to work on your strengths.
That's
And
right.
then hire a good team that can help you in the areas that you need help with.
That's right.
Yes.
And last thing, if you're familiar with 7 habits of a highly effective people,
Yes.
the last habit there is sharpening the saw.
Okay.
So instead of you cutting tree for the next 3 hours, why don't you go ahead and sharpen your axe
Okay.
for about 2 hours, and then cut the tree for about an hour?
Okay. So,
So-
if there are ways to do things more efficiently,
Yes,
then
yes.
it's good to invest in those things.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, good. So a very important tip. So stay tuned for the next part as we discuss more tips on productivity. But before we go to our next topic, let's say hi to some of our viewers. Geraldizo J. Good morning, watching from the Middle East. Usually May-Ann reads all of the Filipino
Yeah.
names, so
All right.
I usually look for the American names, so I don't have a hard time. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, to Rosso Umpad, Maria Cristina Divino Manalansan, Dimzi Kabanid, and more than 20 people liking and watching right
Doing
now.
great.
Yes,
Doing great,
yes. Okay, now, so going back to our topic about productivity. So we discussed before simplification,
Yep.
efficiency. Now, what's the tip that we're going to give our viewers right now?
Well, we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence and how it really matters, specifically when it comes to your decision making.
Yes.
Why? Because as an employee, you need to understand exactly your role or your
Yes.
contribution.
Yes.
If you don't understand that, then you're going to felt like, hey, you're going to have a lower self-esteem. You might feel that you're not going to, hey, what's the sense of me waking up every single morning
Yes.
and doing the old routine? So you're going to be experiencing that thing.
Yes. For
Right.
our viewers who are hearing this word for the first time, emotional intelligence, what is that?
Okay, emotional intelligence is more on self-awareness.
Okay, self-awareness.
It's very it's very important, specifically if you are an entrepreneur as well, because without self-awareness, you might end up losing all the money that you put,
Okay.
specifically for the investment. Same thing goes with being an employee. You, aside from not being contented with what you have right now, you
Yes.
need to challenge yourself. Am I already at my peak?
Yes.
Okay, without understanding the emotional intelligence or your EQ, all right, you're gonna end up not being resilient,
Uh-huh.
specifically at times of, let's say, you experience a very degrading moment
Yes.
into your life as an employee or as an entrepreneur. Sometimes not all entrepreneurs are getting highly successful, right?
Yes.
So sometimes being successful, you need to have at least 5 to 6 businesses that needs to be closed first, right? And if you don't have the EQ, you cannot really adapt.
Well, for emotional intelligence, is that like regular intelligence? Can you increase emotional intelligence? Can you improve on that?
You know what? This is a really good. That's a really good question. Number one thing for you to understand more about EQ is to ask why.
Okay.
Why am I doing these things?
Okay.
When if I reach these things, it's like if I reach these things right now into a portion of my life, a milestone of my life. What's the effect of these things in my life?
Yes.
So these are basic questions that can simply increase your emotional intelligence.
Okay. To always ask those questions. So let's say,
Yes.
for example, I'm an employee.
Yep.
Why am I working at this company? First, to
Or-
make money.
Or let me give you
Yes.
an example. If they interviewed you the very first time, your employer interviewed you, they ask you, how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yes.
That's a way for them to understand, to gauge your EQ.
So don't limit that question just to your interview,
That's right.
but to ask it all the time while
the
you're
time.
working in your company.
Yes, and another thing, there's this an ad coming from a coffee company that asks you what makes you awake every single morning.
Mm.
So it's another way of, hey, am I doing these things for me or for my family, or is this brand new car that I bought will be really good for a business, or is this gonna be really for family use only?
Yes.
So this can increase your EQ and at the same time help you elevate yourself from
Yes.
the rest.
Okay, so now a lot of people, they forget to ask these questions. When you're so busy with the hustle and bustle of working every day, you forget to think about the bigger picture. So how can they remember to step back a little and, reflect on their lives?
You know what? Every single morning you need to have a morning routine.
Okay.
Number one thing, every time that you wake up every single morning, it's like it's either brush your teeth,
Yes.
or you just simply what do you call this one? Wash your face.
Yes.
So before you do anything else, after you wake up every single morning, you need to at least ask yourself at least 3 questions. Is this if this is my last day? Steve Jobs are doing this thing.
Yes,
right.
yes.
This is
Steve
the last
Jobs,
day.
every morning, Steve Jobs would look in the mirror,
Yes.
and he would ask these 3 questions. What are the 3
Yeah,
questions?
if this is the last day of my life, is this gonna be worth it? What I'm gonna be doing, and are these things right now that I'm having today is really worth it?
Yes.
Okay. And lastly, is like if I can change the world, what is this? What am I gonna do to change it?
Yeah.
So these questions are bigger than you.
Yeah.
So if you ask these things, wow, this one's too overwhelming. But at the end of the day, this will help you analyze yourselves. What's your current income right now? Let's say, for example, hey, is this current income right now that I'm having is already sufficient for me in the next 5 years,
Yes.
10 years? Am I satisfied with this kind of lifestyle that I
Yeah.
have? So these things, ask those 3 questions every single day.
Yeah.
It will give you more meaningful life.
See, so that's what you need to do. Even if you have to talk to yourself, some people think it's silly
Yes,
talking to
that's right.
themselves in the mirror.
You know-
But even the most successful people like Steve Jobs
Yeah.
and other successful billionaires, they do this tactic. They
That's
always ask these questions
That's
because
right.
what they're doing is they are investing in themselves. You
That's
you
right.
invest in your company, but you also need to be able to have the character to adapt to the successes and maybe the failures of your own company.
They're proactively asking themselves in order for them to simply bring themselves here right now. Hey, what's the current status of my company?
Yes.
Am I still going to stay here for the next 12 months? Okay, and if the answer is yes or no, then definitely they need to move.
Yes.
And we're talking about efficiency level.
Yes.
So productivity will increase, engagement will increase, your profit, your bottom line will also increase. So by simply asking those questions, it can create tremendous effect into your life.
Yeah, and that's what people don't know. They think it's, just a small thing, but those things, that daily morning routine really helps along the way.
That's correct.
So all of the things that we've discussed about productivity, simplification, efficiency, and investing in emotional intelligence, I think will really help all of our viewers from today's episode.
That's great.
So now, if you have any last thoughts about today's topic, some words of advice that you can give to our viewers who are maybe still working in their business and have aspirations of becoming entrepreneurs?
Well, lessen the number of your goals.
Okay, lessen the number of your goals.
All right, so that's exactly how it should be. So because the more goals that you have, the level of your focus will also lessen. So you will end up not productive, but you'll end up in mediocre.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, so that's something that we could all do. Now, if people have other questions, maybe if they want to ask you personally or avail of your services, how can they get in contact with you?
You can go ahead and add me up directly at David Isaiah Angway, or you can like my page at David Isaiah Angway Financial Strategies at Facebook.
Yes, so that you can, if you have questions for David, or if you want to avail of his services, you can reach him there on Facebook. So we'd like to say hi to some of our comments, some of our viewers. So while this is loading, let's also thank our sponsor, Vandara Thai Facial Spa, who is opening up a business hub on Visayas Avenue.
Wow, that's good.
So one of our past guests, she's actually doing well, one of our aspiring entrepreneurs.
That's nice. That's nice.
And we'd also like to invite our viewers to the Arena Weekend Market. Every Saturday and Sunday, we are open to the public for jogging, Zumba, biking. So if you're looking to get out of Manila and looking for fresh air in Bulacan, the arena is a great place to go.
That's excellent.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Okay, let's say hi to Felipe Magalas. Hello. And Clarissa Elaine Rabara, watching from SSS Village in Marikina City. Geraldizo, very impressive topics. Thanks for your nice comment. And if you want to have any more questions, you can reach David directly. So we all hope that you enjoyed today's episode. These are mornings filled with meaningful business talk, giving you useful advice on how to win at your career. I am Randy Bernardino, and this is Daily Insight.